Good afternoon, everyone. As mentioned, my name is Sembuche Mselle, and I come from the country of Mount Kilimanjaro, Tanzania, and I'm here to be able to share my story and the story of a coalition group around menstrual hygiene management in Tanzania. Before I move on, WaterAid is an organization whose vision is to have everyone everywhere accessing clean and safe water, sanitation and hygiene by the year 2030. And our goal is towards SDG 6, but it's linked to other SDG goals interlinked with that. Today, I am here to make a case for her, to make a case for the period, to make a case that periods are not women's issues, but are human rights issues. That menstrual hygiene products are not a luxury, but a necessity for women's health and dignity. My story today is going to be linked through a number of pictures. Pictures tell 1,000 words, and I hope through them you'll be able to see the journey that stakeholders in Tanzania went through to be able to achieve such a great milestone within our country around menstrual hygiene management. We started in April of 2018 with a small group of stakeholders, and at the time when we began, there were hardly 5 people around the table. But as we began the journey towards addressing the different issues, that team grew into a team of more than 25 organizations towards our common goals in terms of addressing key common challenging areas. From that team, we identified 3 key goal areas, and these were multi-sectoral because our coalition had multi-sector engagement from the government, from donors, from private sector, from CSOs, from communities, from academicians, all around the same table, and we identified 3 key areas. The first one was to be able to make products more affordable for women and girls, particularly in the marginalized areas of Tanzania. The second was to be able to make sure that sanitary facilities within schools would be able to give the girl child access and ability to maintain themselves when they're at school during their periods. From that, we also identified who our key agents would be. And for this, we identified that we needed to engage with parliamentarians, and we identified and picked that we were going to target the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, who was a woman and an activist for the rights of women. So as we set on this journey, we decided that, not everybody knows about the issues. And in most cases, when we're working in our own spheres of work, we're talking to ourselves. So we targeted getting the information out there, and we're engaged in different platforms in terms of media. We were in radio, we were on television, we were on social media. We're out there getting the word out. And within a period of 2 weeks before the menstrual hygiene celebrations of the 28th of May, there was quite a lot of activities going on. And we looked at the data, and that is what we saw up. There was quite a lot of social media engagement, and even for Tanzania, there was quite a lot of hype around the discussions. So on the day itself, on the 28th of May, we celebrated within the capital city of Tanzania, Dodoma, and it was during a strategic period whereby Parliament was in session, and we identified a time when they were free, and we were able to get 55 members of Parliament within one same rule, and our guest of honor was the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Her Honorable Tulia. And with her was the Deputy Minister for Health. And during the session, we trained her. We trained her to be our menstrual hygiene champion. And for that, we were able to inaugurate, as you see in this picture, this is a session whereby she was taken through the different aspects, and for that, she was able to be given a bracelet. So this is like an inaugural bracelet that we give to people that have gone through the training, and we made her our champion. During the whole session, different people were able to present the issues. And because our team was broad, multi-sectoral, we had the private sector presenting the different challenges, we had the health people presenting about the issues around the health, and we had the academicians talking about how there was not enough research into the taboos that are linked around menstrual hygiene management. So within that platform, we presented our 3 asks, as I mentioned: remove of taxation, on menstrual hygiene products. The second was to be able to ensure that there were adequate sanitary facilities for girls in schools. And the third one was to be able to promote more research into the taboos. Her honorable was quite receptive to these, and she promised that she'll be able to link up with the other MPs to be able to address it. Just 2 weeks after that session, I just want to share a really memorable clip with you all of a session in Parliament, and I will interpret once you've had the chance to listen to it. So that is a moment whereby the Parliament passed the removal of taxation within Tanzania, menstrual hygiene products for Tanzania. And the coalition group did not end there. This year, just last week on the 28th of May, the group grew from 25 members to over 70. And they came together and they held celebrations within Dodoma, the capital city. And for this year round, we got the Minister for Health to be the guest of honor, and within her speech, she promised to be able to really have a detailed action plan around menstrual hygiene management for Tanzania within the new health strategy. So it is in terms of the energies and efforts that as individual members, we are able to do in our own spheres, but when we come together, that energy really explodes, and we're able to really capitalize on the gains that can be gotten from a collective action and processes. So thank you very much.